I just bought this Ozark Trail fat tire electric bike for $644 from Walmart. It's the M.3 Ranger Plus. The price has now increased to $748, tariffs, I guess. Stick around because I'm not only breaking down this bike, I'm pitting it up against what might be the best-selling fat tire e-bike on the market, the Lectric XPeak at $1,500, to see if double the price gives you double the bike. Anyway, let's get this box cracked open and see what it looks like.
Ooh, component box. It's like the cheapest disc brake spacer I've ever seen. All right guys, see who makes this? Same brand that makes the Concorde. Phoenix Bicycle, right there.
And here's a fun fact. I've also reviewed a city e-bike from Walmart called the Concorde. That video has blown up, so clearly there's interest in Walmart e-bikes. So if you're interested in Walmart's e-bike lineup, we've got you covered. This though is the one that everyone voted they wanted to see me review next. So here's the big question, is this budget e-bike worth it? Some might even call it cheap. And I bought this bike with my own cash, so do me one thing, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you're planning to buy an e-bike, just use our affiliate link. It's going to keep this series alive. We'll keep it going as long as possible. Let's dive into what $748 gets you. The hang tag says mountain e-bike. We'll see how true that is, but let's start with the motor. 500 watts of nominal power, 65 Newton meters of torque, and the battery is right here, keyhole on the left. Let's drop it down. Not unlike other battery cases, this one is 48 volt, 10.4 amp hours. It's even UL certified, and at least we know they're not exaggerating range, up to 28 miles, but yes, based on rider weight and riding conditions. You also get a 2 amp charger. The fat tires are from Kenda, 26 by 4 inches wide. You get fenders, even a rear rack. The light that runs off the main battery is brake actuated. There's a front light as well. It's a bolt-on front axle, and this is the dead giveaway that this bike is cheap. Check out the front fork. These dropouts concern me just slightly. It does have a 275 pound capacity. It's good for riders 5'2" up to 6'1". By the way, I'm 6 feet tall with a 32-inch inseam. No adjustment knobs on the front suspension, but this is what you can expect. You get no-name mechanical disc brakes. Haven't seen these in a while on the channel. There's non-locking grips, matching no-name levers with motor cutoffs, an included bell, Shimano's 7-speed thumb shifter, right-hand thumb throttle, left-hand controls, and you even get an LCD screen, 5 levels of pedal assist, battery capacity, trip odometer, and at the bottom, additional information. It does have a walk mode as well. Decent cable management, straight handlebars. There's a basic saddle, plastic pedals, cadence sensor, bottle cage bosses, and yes, Ozark Trail, the Walmart brand. A Shimano tourney derailleur, 7 speeds, and yes, this is strictly a Class 2 e-bike, 20 mile per hour top speed. All right, testing time. Let's see how powerful this motor really is. Here we go. All right, throttle only. I have to be moving for it to engage. Peaking at close to 1200 watts, 16, 13, 15, 16, 18, and I didn't even need to be rolling to use the throttle. You get it from a stop, and not surprising, the XPeak showing its sheer power, peaking at 1300 watts compared to the 500 watt motor. Okay, next, the pedal assist levels. Pedal assist level 1. It's about a quarter to a half turn for the pedal assist to engage, and I do need to shift up here, 4th gear. All right, and we are already at 15 miles an hour, even in pedal assist level 1. Keep that in mind, but as long as my legs are spinning, I'm getting power from the motor with the help of this cadence sensor. All right, pedal assist level 2, not a significant difference there. 16, pedal assist level 3. All right, feel a little bit of a bump there. Let's shift up to 5th gear, cruising at 17 miles an hour. Let's go into pedal assist level 4. Feel the 500 watt motor a tiny bit there, getting close to 20 miles per hour. Let's go in pedal assist level 5. All right, and still there's 20 on the display, and I'm only in 5th gear. If I wanted a slower cadence, I could go into 6th. Let's see how close we can get to 28. Using the torque sensor, pretty easy to cruise at 20 miles per hour, and then a little bit more effort. Certainly need to work for it though. There's 24, 25, 27, and there is 28 miles an hour. Just not possible on the Ozark Trail. And now the brakes. So these are mechanical disc brakes. Almost everything on the market these days comes with hydraulic disc brakes. Now, yes, they are harder to pull, unless though you have extreme sensitivities in the hands. You're going to be able to pull them. But the most important thing is, can they stop you? And can they lock up the tires? Here we go at the fire hydrant. All right, we locked up the brakes, no problem. Let's take this bike off-road. All right, let's torture test this suspension. Go off curbs. I mean, it's there. Go up the curb. You could probably hear it there. It's better than not having one, but you probably could hear it clanking around a little bit there. It's certainly not going to be serviceable, but again, it's a $600-700 e-bike. All right, I don't feel it moving a whole lot over this grassy area. But yes, on the big bumps, I certainly did. And on the XPeak, I can actually see the suspension and feel it soaking up some of these bumps off-road. This might just be the best suspension fork on a budget fat tire electric bike. And let's see how it feels off some of these curbs as well. Oh, so much better. It just feels like it's doing more work. Of course, it has more travel as well, but for comfort, you know the route I'm going to go. All right, let's keep this test going. Here's our hill. The GoPro makes it look so much smaller than it is. So put up a picture of it on the screen. Can a Walmart fat tire e-bike make it up this hill? That's what we're gonna find out. See what the minimum speed is and see how it compares to an e-bike, about twice its cost. We got up to 20, and I am just using the throttle here. Hill starting now, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. That motor is working. 11, 10. All right. And we are going to make it to the top. Minimum speed, 10 miles an hour. All right, what is the minimum speed though on the XPeak 2.0? Can it beat 10 miles an hour as a minimum speed? And we are at about 50% battery, so this is going to be an interesting one. 16 miles an hour. All right, so not surprisingly, minimum speed significantly better. 16 miles an hour kind of blows the Ozark Trail out of the water, but it's not just about motor power. I will get into all the specs between these two fat tire electric bikes. $748 versus $1499. What are you really getting for double the price? Well, it turns out kind of a lot. So this is the Lectric XPeak 2.0. It's the best-selling fat tire e-bike, or perhaps second best. And if you know anything about Lectric, they pack a ton of value, which makes it a great comparison electric bike to the Ozark Trail. So first, do you notice anything different? The Ozark Trail only offered in a high step. You can get the XPeak if you want to in a nice step through, and that means it's so much easier to get your leg over. Look at these two front forks. Which one inspires more confidence? I'm going to go with the XPeak. It attaches with a through axle compared to the bolt-on axle here, but this little weld point, definitely not as robust as the way it connects here. Then we have the actual suspension itself. This is the RST Renegade, preload adjustment, lockout, 80 millimeters of travel. Feels so much better. And then perhaps related to all that strength, The XPeak has a payload capacity of 330 pounds compared to 275 on the Ozark Trail. The entire frame is even e-mountain bike safety tested. You also get locking ergonomic grips that aren't going to move around on you. You get hydraulic disc brakes, a larger 203 millimeter rotor up front, 180 in the rear, and of course, nice levers as well. A thumb throttle that actually starts from a stop. Shimano's 8-speed trigger shifter, an LCD display that gives you a little bit more information and is easy to read, plus advanced settings for customization, including the ability to go up to 28 miles per hour. You get metal pedals that make assembly easy because they're quick release. And important for some, you get a much larger 15 amp hour battery, 44% more battery than the Ozark Trail. They offer an even larger battery version if you want for $200 more. You might even get a couple of free accessories. Check the link in the description for currently included accessories on the XPeak 2.0. You get a better derailleur, and yes, 8 speeds. The tread pattern is different on the fat tires. These are from Chaoyang, though it's cool that Lectric pre-installs slime in here to help prevent flats. And then, yes, the motor power, 750 watts. It peaks at 1300 watts compared to the relatively measly 500 watt motor on the Ozark Trail. Instead of the motor being engaged with a cadence sensor, that's what this is. The XPeak is engaged with a torque sensor, which means the more power you put into the pedals, it's going to reward you for that. Of course, still depending on the pedal assist level. It's a much more natural riding experience. And so the question is, should you buy a $748 fat tire electric bike? Well, that kind of depends. If you want something to grab the mail, to maybe go out on some trails behind your house, this could be a good solution. My biggest considerations, the low weight capacity. The front fork just leaves really a lot to be desired. I would really like to see it beefed up quite a bit. The cadence sensor is basic. Does it work? Will it take you to 20 miles per hour? Yes. Can you go throttle to 20? Well, almost 20. And yes, you have to be moving to use the throttle, but these might just be minor things for you to save $750. You can deal with that. Motor power is actually pretty good. This is still a 48 volt system. The battery is, yes, below average, but this price is well below average too. So you might get 20-ish miles. Here are some of the things I'm not worried about. The drivetrain. Yes, these are Shimano's most basic components, but they've been used on e-bikes for years, for recreational riding. They're fine. The motor power, on flat ground, you're good to go. Even on hills, 10 miles an hour up a huge hill is still pretty decent. I love that they include the accessories, the fenders, the rear rack. The look of the bike actually isn't that bad if you can get past the Ozark Trail branding. The battery is integrated into the frame. You actually get an LCD display. I know that might not seem like a big deal, but there are cheap e-bikes that don't have a real LCD display. Even the mechanical disc brakes, you're just not going to find hydraulic on a fat tire e-bike at this price point. But undoubtedly, they still stop you. Yes, they're harder to pull than the bike that's twice the cost. And yes, they might need more adjusting over time. So I'm not going to say I'm impressed, but it's a $750 fat tire e-bike. It works. For a certain audience, it could be the ticket. But if you do plan to ride a lot, I would definitely consider stepping up to something like the XPeak 2.0. You're just gonna have better luck over time with the components and just less things to worry about. And by the way, Lectric has phenomenal customer support, so if that matters to you. So here's the thing, I want to continue to review super affordable electric bikes like this one, so I can share with you how they get better. I purchased this bike myself, and I will buy more Walmart e-bikes. You just have to do one thing: subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below what you think of the Ozark Trail Fat Tire e-bike, and what one should I buy next? And if you do decide to buy this bike or the Lectric, use our link down in the description. It's free, and yes, we will keep this series running. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.